Oh, are we live? I think we live. Ooh, wait a minute. I think I left my consciousness in the sixth dimension. But I'm here right now, right now. I hate that song. And I can't get it out of my head. Don't you hate when you hate a song and you can't get it out your head? It's always the songs I hate. And then when I can't remember a song, I can never find what that song is. I'll be searching through where I thought I heard it. Like, man, did I hear this song on some TikTok, song or something? And then I'll search for it and I can't never find it. It's songs I got that I can't find to this day. Because I like obscure music. So I like my musical taste is so all over the place. You would never even believe it. I love EDM, like electric dance music, especially like electric trap. I like dubstep. I like some drill music. I like some rock music. I like a little bit of everything. I don't like country. I love jazz. I love funk from the 70s. I like pretty much everything but country. I don't like country. Something about the vibe of country and like folky banjo sound of music. It just don't do it for me. But everything else, I pretty much like. I even like some metal, Not all of it. Like I just can't listen to all day. But some songs get you hype, especially like when you lifting weights or whatever. Yeah, some of them songs get you hype. I used to love Linkin Park. Anyways, I'm getting distracted. I am here today to get to part 2 of the Pearly Things vs. Modern Women. We watched part 1 of the video. Hopefully you go back and watch it. One of the things that took me so long to get this thing started is I'm trying to figure out how to put the chat on screen at the same time that I'm going live. And I looked up tutorials and I don't know, maybe I don't got enough viewers on YouTube to do that. But one day we'll get there. Soon I'll have a whole 100 people watching at once. It'll be phenomenal. And we will talk about these topics and people will be interacting with me and I'll want to interact with the chat. That'll be fun, man, because it's nobody funnier than the internet. But anyways, so we got Pearly Things here. We're not going to start exactly where we left off because they kind of beat a dead horse on that one topic. What's that topic they were talking about? The wage gap and you know how I feel. Birds flying high, you know how I feel. I felt like we done discussed this topic so many times that anybody who still believes it, you need to be slapped by a crackhead with ashy palms. And that's not an exaggeration. Let's get started. Oh, crap.
Okay. So what about you? Is there an end goal to make more money? What do you think?
Okay, I'm used to it.
So personally, the reason I want to be independent is, and this is going to get a little bit personal. The reason why I want to be financially independent and not have a man ever, I don't want to rely on a man, is because I am the product of that. I am the product of a woman having to depend on a man to survive financially. And I was raised to believe that I will not have worth. I will not be able to have the independent freedom, or do anything that I want to do in life without the support of a man. And that, I think, is one of the reasons. I'm single, okay?
Wow. Who would have thought? Birds flying high, you know how I feel.
And I've done a lot of work on myself. I've gone to a lot of years of therapy. Never married, don't have kids. And
we have discussed in previous videos what I feel about therapy. If you don't hate me now, you will. Just wait till you hear something you don't like.
And I think I admit that one of the reasons why I'm still single is because I kept going for the wrong men.
I see a faint the slightest faint glimpse of accountability here. I wonder how long this glimmer of hope will last.
I kept going to the men that would try to save me. I was always, and we've always been taught to look for a Prince Charming, right? That's what we're taught with Disney.
Disney has corrupted a lot of women, but I don't know if you want to attribute the philosophy in this case. For instance, I don't think it's wrong for a man to save a woman. I do think it's wrong for a woman to save a man. If you save a man, you're going to be trying to save that lazy, no good man every day. And you're going to start to resent him. Men, we like women we can save because we like to be in the authority position. A woman does not like to take authority over a man. If you don't believe me, look, first of all, don't doubt what I say ever. Just go look in your own life. Show me. I've been to suburban churches with thousands of people. Show me. And then we all know what I'm about to say and what I'm talking about. A woman, right? And she's in a leadership position. And she leading her man and she tells him what to do. Johnny, go over here and get this. And show me that she's happy. That she's generally cheery. She likes having to tell her husband everything to do. It doesn't exist, because when a woman has to tell you what to do, when she has to rescue you, she's going to resent you. And she's going to resent you because she knows in her head you're not the man that she desires. She desires a man that can sweep her off her feet. She desires a man that can take care of her. She desires a man that knows what to do in hard situations. She desires a man that stays stoic under pressure. That's the type of masculinity that women like, even though they don't say it. And I know y'all gonna be like, well, we should trust women's words, and they say they don't like that. I don't care what they say. I'm telling you what they like. And what they like is a man who's masculine. They don't like a man that's like, I don't know, what should we do, dear? Dear, I didn't do anything because I was waiting for you to tell me what to do. They don't like that. So, her saying that she was looking for men to rescue her. Let's hear the rest before we make a judgment.
And so I was always looking for someone to save me, take me out of my parents' house. I want, provide for me. And they kept using me. I kept getting...
Wait a second. Yeah, using you for what? What do you mean by that? I thought they was rescuing you.
For my body.
What body? Oh, I'm not mean. I'm not gonna be mean. Let me not be mean. I'm not rude. I'm still a Christian man. A man of the cloth. A man of God.
How's he saving you if he's using you?
Right.
Because I was letting it happen.
What is this?
But what is he saving you from?
Right.
You went for the man that saved you, but he used you at the same time.
Right, and that's why I'm saying. What? And that's why I'm saying.
I can't save money and use it at the
right.
I think she said a man.
No.
She goes for
So I'm just curious. Was he spending money on you? Is that what you meant when you said?
Yeah, he was providing for my rent, providing for everything. I was living with him.
How? What do we do? What? No. Women, y'all gotta take this L. And the reason why is because sometimes you'll talk to a girl and she's so used to talking to other females. And what do other females do? This is not wrong, so don't say I'm hating on women. What they do is they empathize. And when women do this well, they will get together and they talk, and you hear them talk, and she'll say these flowery words that don't mean anything. It'll be one woman and two other women, right? And they'll be sitting at a table, and one woman will be on the verge of tears. She'll be like, and when we were talking, I just didn't feel like he really understood, you know? And the other goes, right, I totally understand. I really feel where you're coming from. Like, oh my gosh, like, tell me more. And the other girl, then it'll be another girl on his side. Oh my gosh, that's so frustrating. So frustrating. How did he not understand? And then the girl keep going, and I was like, I didn't really tell him how I felt, but it's like at this point, I'm thinking he should just know, you know. And then the other girl's like, yeah, like that's what men are supposed to do. They should just know. And because girls have so much empathy, when they talk to each other, they don't really question each other. They just like, oh, you said that? It must be 100% fact. Oh, you said he was toxic? He must be toxic, right? We don't really question it. With dudes, on the other hand, we're like, what? What? That don't make any sense, dude. Say that again. What did you say? You said she did what? Why'd you let her do that? Why'd you let that happen? What? Oh, come on, dude. You should have done this. You should have done it. And both sides have their negatives. Don't get me wrong. Because sometimes dudes could use a little more empathy. And a lot of times a dude will be in the midst of his friends and still feel alone. Because it's like we'll laugh at you instead of saying like, yo, man, we can help you. We'll often laugh at you. Like, and then we'll bring it up and laugh at you later, too. So it's not always the best. But a lot of times women like this, they're so used to giving their own gobbledygook and it being totally 100% accepted by the women, that when they get in the midst of men and men say, what? That doesn't make sense. They're like, what? I don't understand it. The women I'm around understand it. They didn't question me. They didn't make me have to use logic. Why don't you just listen? It should be easy. I'm right and everybody else is wrong. Cut and dry.
So then how are you getting used for your body if he was paying money for your rent? Couldn't he say he was being used for his wallet?
Yes.
No, and therein lies the issue. Because that was...
I like how people would say a phrase that totally incriminates them, but they think that it's like going towards their point. And therein lies the issue. Yes! That's the issue at hand. That you felt like you were being used, yet this man was funding your whole life. Yes, that's quite the issue, ma'am.
That wasn't my end goal. My end goal was never to use a man. I never wanted... Right. That's what I was trained to do. That's what I thought. I always have wanted to be independent, but the opportunity came for me to move out of my parents' house because he was going to move me out to Kansas City, and I lived with him for a few months. Yeah. And obviously the relationship became toxic.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah.
The typical sell you a dream type of man, and you know, you take it.
Oh, no. This is where I gotta cut it off and stop pretending. She don't need your help to explain the mess she got herself in. Let her explain why this man is toxic. Because when people use these words, here's another thing. And y'all pay attention, class is in session. When people use words that are popular at the time, oftentimes they don't even know what they mean, but they're using them to actually avoid an explanation. For instance, I saw that one dude, Kai, whatever his name is, the dude is popular on Twitch and all that. He disagreed with somebody and he kept saying, that N-word's a munch. That N-word's a munch. No one knows what he means. You know why he used the word munch? Because it's popular in a song. He didn't know what he meant, and he didn't like the dude, but he didn't want to explain why he didn't like him. He just said, well, he's a munch. Wow. Edifying. So exhilarating. Your verbal use of the English language is astounding. I can't describe it any better than a munch. What this lady's doing is the same thing with toxic. He's toxic. Well, stop using that word if you can't describe it in any more detail. Oftentimes when you talk to somebody that's unintelligent, perhaps low IQ, when you talk to somebody like that, what they'll do is they'll say, this person is toxic. And then you ask them, what do you mean by that? And they'll say, toxic. And you'll be like, well, can you elaborate? Like when he acting like with toxicity. No, you just use the same word like my teacher used to say. Use it in a sentence. You know what you're talking about. Define the word. What is toxic? What does it mean?
What dream is he telling you? He's paying your rent.
No, her dream. No. She said she was raised on the dream or idea that
she needs help. Call in backup. She needs help.
You need a man to come in and save you. So when that man came in and was like, hey, let me move you out. Come live with me.
I thought it was going to be Prince Charming. I thought that we were going to be traveling. And I wasn't purposely selling my body or anything like that.
No, I didn't say.
I don't get what he did wrong.
Don't do that. Don't.
I'm just trying to clarify.
You tried to play that victim role.
Yes. He calling her out.
Nobody called you that.
Okay.
Everybody, 1 second. Get the likes up, guys. We gotta get 100% engagement, please.
He was paying your rent.
And subscribe.
I was living in his apartment.
And what else was he providing? Everything.
Food, everything, all of it. He was
Should I say that? That's mean. I think food was a definite part of the deal.
Providing
entertainment, he used you all for sex?
I mean, that was your man.
I felt as if I wasn't living to my fullest potential because I was living off of his means.
So you want to be independent and you don't want to give up sex? So
what? I tried so hard to hold it. I said I wasn't gonna tell nobody, but I couldn't keep it to myself. What? Do anybody else hearing this? Is this just me? So she had an arrangement with a man where he was paying for everything: food, rent, shelter, everything she needed. And he was taking advantage of her because she wanted to be independent. Yeah, she was a victim because she didn't have to pay rent. She was wait. She was a victim because she didn't have to buy her own food. Wait, no, that doesn't make sense. No, she was a victim because she entered into the situation willingly, and then she later found out she wanted to be independent all along. No, that doesn't make sense. Nothing makes sense. None of this makes sense. Somebody tell me what language she's speaking, because the story she's telling doesn't make sense. And that goes to show you, sometimes all it takes is a little bit of questioning. A little bit of holding people's feet to the fire to see, this is not adding up.
That's why you're single.
And you were taught that way. He didn't go up.
If somebody's giving you
what you were
raised. I want to know what you're trying to say. I want to know what you're trying to say.
Can I clarify something?
He's taking care of everything, and you think sex is too much of a trade-off?
Did you feel
I never said that.
You felt
you said he was using you for your body.
You can be manipulative and use someone.
Manipulated for what?
Body.
How? But how though? Here's another thing. You want to know another secret to tell if someone's lying? If they bring up important facts after the initial story. I'm gonna say that again. If someone brings up important facts after the initial story. Do y'all know what I mean by that? So, say you talk to two kids, and one of the kids is fighting on the playground, and you say, what happened? And when one kid says, well, we were fighting, and then you say, why? And he says, because he took my ball. And then you say, you know what? You're gotta get in trouble because you can't hit somebody for not giving you your ball. You should have asked for it back. Wait, no! But then he cussed my mom out, and he threw a brick in my eye, and then he stepped on my leg. Those parts that was added afterwards are lies. They're lies. And oftentimes people will do this. They will say, he was being manipulative. That's not what you led with. That's not what you led with. Your first part of your story said that it was a toxic relationship because you wanted to be independent and he was paying for everything. And it was sort of an arrangement that you didn't really iron out. If he was manipulating or abusing you, you would have led with that. Because that's pretty obvious. That would have made you look like a total victim. A total queen in distress in that situation.
Yeah, speaking from That means her
I mean,
parents.
I'm not gonna
did
lie.
You
that.
guys act like, come on, we like sex too.
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying that.
I love it.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying.
I
We
love
had
it.
great sex. Don't get me wrong. Okay,
So you wasn't getting used.
You can, even in a relationship and in a marriage, you can be violated.
But how?
Stop it, young one. There's much you have to learn. Just because there's an idea that you can be taken advantage of doesn't mean you gotta jump to that to try to justify your wrongdoings in every situation. For instance, what people will do, and this is very popular on YouTube and especially amongst young people, is they know that sexual assault is a big deal. So what they'll do is they'll hint at it without actually saying it to make themselves appear as a bad guy. This happened recently with a girl on stream that was accusing a dude that I don't really like that much, but she was accusing a dude of trying to show his private parts. So what'll happen in these situations is a girl will know how serious society takes sexual assault. So she will go and be like, he was inappropriate with me. But what does that mean exactly? And well, when men are inappropriate and we were alone, and see what I'm doing? I'm trying to imply that something happened without telling you exactly what happened. He was alone and he was making inappropriate gestures. What did he do? Well, he stuck his eyes directly towards me and he was making lewd head gestures. What does that mean? What does it mean? Give me more detail here. See, the problem is, oftentimes people don't ask for more detail because they don't want to seem like they're questioning that person's integrity. But with something so serious as relationships and somebody being inappropriate or manipulating, you better go into, not vague, you better go into supreme amounts of detail when you use words like that. Because the human mind will always go to the worst possible course. If somebody says, he was manipulating his wife every night, your mind will automatically go towards, he was manipulating her by saying you cannot have money or eat tomorrow or unless you give me sex. That's what your mind will go to. Because we watch too many movies, maybe. But your mind will go to that. And if nobody, and oftentimes too many, specifically women or people who play the victim, men to weak men, will often let your mind wander like that so they can appear to be the good guy. They won't ever clear it up. And then when you ask them later, they'll be like, no, I never said that. Well, yeah, you said he's manipulating you every night.
Wow, she literally said her parents raised her to be that way.
Yeah,
and then,
from the beginning,
so how,
little girls are sold this
No,
book
and
of
I'm not,
Prince
and I'm not
Charming.
blaming it on him. I've never put blame on him. I put actually the blame on myself.
Did you feel used when he left? Is that what you're saying? Or
Look, she don't even understand. Oh, is that what you're saying? You're trying to give her like a way out by being nice, but the reality is no one understands what she's saying.
I'm confused.
I'm not doing a good.
Everyone in the room is now dumber, having heard you say that.
Explanation. Listen, how do I explain this? Because this is the first time I've ever explained this, and so that's why I'm a little, shaky.
No, you shaky because you. Look at her. She knows she coming off as like incoherent. She knows she ain't explaining things correctly, and she trying to explain it away now. The reason why I can't put two words together in a sentence is because this is the first time I ever talked about something that happened specifically to me that I should know how to explain.
My explanation. I was raised in Venezuela and in Latin countries, in any other country. Mm-hmm. You're always taught as a woman to look for a gringo, to look for the provider, okay? And that's what happened to my mom. She found this Mormon missionary white guy, and she latched onto him for dear life. Mm-hmm. They had me here in the United States.
Sounds like a plan.
And then when we went back to Venezuela, because obviously that didn't work out. Mm-hmm. When we went to Venezuela, I was always, that's what I saw. That's what I grew up thinking. That's what's normal. I need to go find a man that's going to take me to the promised land, take me back to the States, take me back to where I'm from. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it didn't matter what he was, what he did. Just go towards anything that's going to give you a good financial
totally understand
life. And again, yes, there was sex involved. There was other things involved, but that was never a priority. That was never.
Should have been sex involved.
I'm just.
You just explained a normal situation. All them words. What conclusion? What more detail did the audience get as to why this man was in the wrong? What did we learn?
Confused. What did he do wrong?
Right, exactly. We on the same wavelength, my brother. You saying what I feel, and you feel what I'm saying.
Can I ask a question? Yeah. The only reason I'm confused is because you said the word "use," and when you say the word "used," it sounds like you're like a victim in this situation. But
get a mother of pearl.
The thing is, like, the more you describe the situation, I'm like, this sounds great. He was taking care of you. You said great sex.
Yeah.
So how, like, if you were also enjoying the sex, how could you be used?
Right.
Because he wasn't. He was just using me for company.
What? See why I gotta do videos like this? The man... See, well, no. Let me be serious. Let me take her side. Let me understand this fully, completely, okay? She is a victim. She, represented by my hand right here, and he represented by my hand right here. She was used. He used her. You know how he used her? How dare he get in a relationship with a woman, a romantic one, and want her company? The audacity of that low-down, dirty fool. To get in a relationship with somebody and want company? So after I give you sex, as an independent woman who wants to be independent, and you should have read my mind and know that, now you want me to sit on the couch and talk to you? What type of man are you? Are you a zesty boy? Is you a zesty boy? You want to be talked to? You want company from a woman? Yuck! You disgust me, you misogynistic prick.
I was never loved.
To be. Y'all in a relationship.
But
I don't want to be alone.
But here's the thing: he never told me that he loved me.
Wait, can we?
What? What? No. No, like, see, this is like she's grasping at the wind. She's grasping for straw. She's doing whatever metaphor you want to do to make this dude a bad guy who she admitted was taking care of her. So she admits the dude was taking care of her financially, paying rent. He was providing her a place to live, right? Or providing all her needs, like food. He wanted her company. And he's still a bad guy. I wish I had one of them horns that lead attorney had. Or on Smack DVD. Don DeMarco, Marco, bang, bang, bang. I need one of them. Like, what? This man sounds great. I can tell you right now, I'm a great man. And I wouldn't have done that for you. Far be it from me to give you a place to live, get sex, and then want your company? Want you hanging around me when you be acting like that? Heck no, shorty. No.
Clarify to the people in the comments how we spun off and got to this.
No. Let's go. No, they can rewind. Go ahead.
There was I fell. How about this? I fell in love with the idea of him, and he never really loved me. He enjoyed my company.
That means
so you fell in love with the idea of him, and somehow that is still his fault.
Loved you.
No, he never said he loved me.
He didn't say he loved you. And that is enough to make him toxic. Because if he had done any more toxic things, like say he had hit her. Say every day she came home, he was drunk and did all types of wild stuff. Say he was asking too much from her in the bedroom. Say he had cheated on her. She would have said that. She's a woman now. I hope. She would have said that because women they don't have they come with the quickness. When you ask what he did wrong and he done beat her. He put his hands on me. It was domestic violence. They will tell you with the quickness. They won't skip a beat to let you know why they are the victim and how they are the victim. Which, if a man is putting his hands on you or something crazy like that, you are the victim. Absolutely. Don't try to fight no man. You better call the police or get yourself a weapon and defend yourself. No woman should be hit by no man just out of his anger. Now, if you hitting on him and you kind of don't expect to be hit yourself, that's stupid. But we'll talk about that later. But she's acting as if she's the victim. And it's very ambiguous why this man is toxic. She labeled him that.
Moving nobody in if I don't love you. That is bullshit.
Unfortunately, there's
people out there.
Look at Doomface. He like, wow, what is this the Twilight Zone? What? He looking like, oh my gosh, what have I gotten myself into? Look at his face.
Did you think you were a slave?
From April, no.
Okay.
You still got that same face. Look.
April, it was 2015, so it was from April to October. From April
So it
to
was like
October.
6 months.
He still is starting. He looked like that lady on that meme where she trying to figure out something with like the chalkboard symbols in the background. Like, we can't make sense of it either at the home watching it. And I consider myself a man of high intelligence. And I've watched this part before. And watching it for the second time, I still don't know what she said. I don't know what she said.
About.
And who ended it? You or him?
He did.
Oh, he
Well,
ended
I don't blame him.
So it was more like you were mad you wasted your time.
No, because it was a good learning experience.
No, you was mad.
'Cause to me, it sounds like a good relationship.
That's what I'm thinking.
I know.
too. So, like,
Right.
It sounds
No.
mutually beneficial to me.
They don't even sound mutually beneficial. It sounds like she's taking advantage of him.
And, no. Well, I don't know. He blocked me.
He blocked her. Wait a second. He. Okay. First of all, it's very unusual for a man to dump a girl. Usually women walk away from relationships. So not only did he, let's look at some insight here. Not only did he leave her, but he blocked her? Is something missing? There's something missing in this story. I know for a fact she is not telling. I'm telling you, my spider sense, when they go off, I know. If we were to sit this man down and talk to him, he would unload on. He probably would be moved to tears. Like, she did this and this and that, and she cheated on me and did that. I bet you, I can guarantee it, that this man would have a whole nother side of the story, and it would be as long as The Hobbit. I'm telling you right now, she's not telling a fool. He blocked her? Why would a good man? This man sound great. And he blocked her? On all platforms? She didn't say that, but I'm guessing if she was blocked, she must have tried to reach out to him. Sorry, I spit. She must have tried to reach out to him and found out she was blocked.
If I paid your rent and everything and groceries, and
They
all
just
that,
jump past that, too.
You for sex?
No. Again,
You can
I
use
know that
someone
a little
for sex
shaky.
in a
Wait, was he not
relationship.
providing enough
No,
for you?
sex
Because
is expensive.
earlier in the talk, you said
Not
that
for
you
me,
wanted to go
it's
on
not.
vacation.
I wanted the relationship to continue,
You need emotional support.
and I needed emotional support.
Stop again, lady. The young lady, the darker one. Stop giving her ammunition. Let her speak for herself. She dug this hole. She gotta climb out. You needed emotional support. She didn't say that. That's not her words. You fed that to her.
And was he working too much? Like, why did he?
No, don't try to. This is called leading. When somebody is answering questions where you kind of don't know, and then you see there's a tad bit of disingenuousness there, that they're like, they can't answer the question directly. What'll happen is somebody will say, well, did this happen? And then that person will latch on to it and be like, oh crap, I don't have an answer. So yeah, that's what happened. Watch.
Why wasn't he able to give the emotional support? Did he get off work
Because
and he didn't want to watch a movie with you, or the TV shows you wanted to watch? Like, what was it?
That's all we did was watch TV because
So he spent
we
a lot of time
quiet,
with you.
What else
because
did
we
you
were
want to do?
quiet. He didn't want to talk to me. He just
What?
wanted my company.
But that's men. Like men.
Yep.
I don't
And
think
honestly-
these women understand men. Even if men had 100% of us to understand, they might understand 0.5. That's it. I mean, talking about sex and all, like what men like in the bedroom or anything. I don't think most women understand men even 0.5 out of 100%. I think men, the average man, understands women about 20%. Now, I'm just making up these numbers and pulling them straight out of my butt. But I think what I'm trying to say is men have to, even a loser man, has to understand women to a certain degree in order to operate in the world. Otherwise, you're just going to say something so offensive, it'll get you fired from jobs. You won't be able to make money. You will get slapped in the middle of a conversation because the way men talk with men and the way men talk with women has to be so much different that you have to understand something to operate in this world, or you'll just come off so socially awkward that you won't even be able to keep a job. I'm telling you, I've seen men lose their jobs because they were socially awkward. They were good workers, but so socially awkward that women didn't feel comfortable around them. They didn't even do anything wrong. They didn't touch anybody, nothing like that, but they were so socially awkward. And I'm sure other men can tell you instances of that as well. But I'm telling you, men have to a certain degree, especially if you want to go from operating in society to actually being in a relationship with a woman, you kind of got to understand her at 50% or above. 50%. Do women grow and do they try to understand men when they get in a relationship with them? Nope, they stay at about 5%. Most. Some good women will try to understand their man. Like, one of the things I love about my wife is that she will go out of her way to study me. She will go out of her way to be like, okay, he likes this, so I'll buy him this as a gift. I don't even have to tell her. She'll just know. She's studying me. That's what a good woman will do. But a bad woman doesn't even go past that 0.5%. She will say, it's his job to figure me out. I'm the prize, right? So therefore, she never really learns anything throughout all of her relationships as to what men are actually like.
But that's excusing behavior.
No, it's not excusing behavior. It's just understanding the genders are different. Like, what if the guys say like women talk too much? That's
women do. It's not that they talk too much. For a man, you have to understand what a woman is, and this is giving women some credit here. Both sexes have to understand the other sex in order to operate correctly. And my dad taught me this. When you're dealing with your wife, you can't come home and be like, I don't want to talk every day. Now, as men, we will be women do not realize this, but it's true. We will be totally fine just being silent. We have no need. We don't have that urgent need to just outburst with information. I can hang out with my brother. He can come over. We could play video games and not say but 2 words. Oh, you got me. That's it. No deep conversations, no nothing. Women are not like that. And when we understand that, you got to give a woman, when you're in a relationship with her, if you respect her and you love her, you got to find out what women are as well. You're going to realize, especially people who are young in marriage, you got to communicate with your wife, because if you don't, she begins to worry. She begins to stress out. Women worry a lot. You'll figure this out. Young men, you'll figure this out a lot. Women worry a lot. The moment you feel stressed out, they can pick up on that. But if you don't communicate to them exactly what you stressed out about, they'll internalize that. They will come and be like, is everything okay? What did I do? I tried to look nice for you. I tried to clean the kitchen. I tried to do this. And this is not just a one type of woman thing. All women will do this. All of them. They all will worry and they all will stress out and they all will internalize it because they're looking at you to be the stoic rock. So when you're very stressed out or if you come home and you just don't communicate to them, that's having the same effect as if they just go months and months without giving you sex. You know, in your head, like those of us who have been in a relationship, if your wife just constantly says no or constantly is sleepy, you can be like, dang, man, does she even respect me anymore? Does she even like me anymore? We just roommates now. I don't feel any love. I don't feel any respect. You know, what did I do to her? You're going to feel like that. The vice versa is also true. So it's good. And this is why the Bible is so true, because it tells us. People act like they came up with this on their own. Men need respect. Women need love. And we're supposed to both be selfless. This is why the act of sex is not just about a man's pleasure. It's about a woman's pleasure just as much. In fact, if you want to continue having a healthy sex life with your wife, you better lay it down. You better try to learn. Because if you were one of those minute men, and I know I'm getting into some weird stuff that Christians feel uncomfortable talking about. Too bad. You need to learn this. If you're one of those minute men and you don't care about her pleasure at all, then don't expect her to be happy to jump in the sack with you. It's just sick that some men are that selfish. And I hate that I have to say it because it sounds like a blue pill thing that you got to say, but I'm talking about masculinity here and actual true love, being selfless. When you're selfless, you're not going in the bedroom saying it's all about you to please me. Absolutely not. No relationship will last like that. Now, I've seen certain red pill men say it's her job to please you. It's actually both of your job to please each other. They say men bring so much to the table, women should be the one bringing sex. Only to a certain extent that they're right. To the certain extent of men typically want physical relations more than women do. So therefore, a woman is not always going to be feeling it as much as you. But in the Bible, it says in 1 Corinthians, do not abstain from having sexual relationships with each other. Unless you're fasting or something extravagant like that, lest you both burn with passion. So a woman in that regard is going to be the one that will often have to be selfless in that area. Just like a man will often have to be selfless in his conversation, even though he doesn't feel like talking. He's going to have to be selfless with his body when he doesn't feel like working. He's going to have to be selfless with his time and his energy. He doesn't feel like being a soft and gushy person, but he's going to have to do it because he knows or his wife needs him right now. You got to do that stuff. Sometimes you're going to have to be selfless. Dang, I don't feel like dealing with this emotional crap. But guess what? I got to hug my wife and hold her because she's feeling bad. And I don't feel like doing that, but I got to do it. Marriage is about selflessness and both people giving up things that they don't typically always want to do. It ain't about, I'll bring so much to the table, when I get home from work, she better be in the bed naked waiting for me. That's a bad way to look at marriage. A very bad way. And that's a red pill kind of like thing that they kind of tout. And I don't agree with them with. Because when you marry somebody and you love them and you're selfless to them, they're going to go through ups and downs. Yes, your wife, you want her to typically stay in shape and look nice. But there's going to be times where she going to be going through something and it's up for you to long suffer with her. That don't mean you don't push her to be her best or you have to be 100% attracted to her at all times. There's going to be times where she's totally sick for weeks at a time and you got to deal with it. There's going to be times where she as a woman, she just gave birth to your child and it's going to take her a couple months to get back down to the weight that you were attracted to her at. You going to withhold sex from her then? Because I look at that as a sissy thing to do. Do what you would like the golden rule. Treat others as you want to be treated. When you going through your hard times, do you want her to withhold sex from you? No. So you got to be there for your woman. Yeah, all that's a tangent, but it's a lot to grasp. I dropped some gems in there.
Like I've been in a relationship where at the time like I felt like it was rude because he was like, I don't want to talk right now. But that's just I learned that's just men. Like men, it's like they want you to be there, but they don't want you there. It's like they want you like down
I said,
the hall.
though,
There's
you
like
can't
a
always
Patrice
do that.
O'Neal.
And that's what I'm saying is that I entered that relationship. We entered that relationship for different reasons. I went into that relationship thinking, this man is going to take me out of my parents' house. I'm going to be able to live a good life.
And he went maybe.
And he did take you out.
Yeah, and then he went into the relationship of, well, I'm moving to Kansas City. I've never been there before. I don't want to be alone.
You know how I know she's lying? Because she said just a second ago he ended the relationship and she wanted it to keep going. So she's trying to justify in her head why he the one who messed up. He didn't. If it was up to you, you would still be in that relationship with him. Come on now.
And I just want the company. And so there was no real
I don't even think he would say that
and
if
that
he was here.
a good learning
I just wanted her company. I don't even think he would say that. He would probably tell everybody, man, I loved her and she misused me and she was disrespectful. That's probably what he would say. I bet you.
experience for me because now I know, okay, I don't want to be dependent on a man because when he kicked me out, I was literally living out of my car. I didn't have anywhere else to go.
Which is, this gonna sound bad. You should. I can't even say it with a straight face. People gonna think I'm serious. You should have did everything you said. No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying like there's a burden to bear. If you know you ain't got no place to live, maybe you should have been a little nicer.
And so I learned a good lesson there.
And
to go back and just to like spin it, why I want to be making my own money because that's where we're going back.
You should make your own money. Yes.
I want to make my own money so that I never have to go through that experience again of being kicked out of what I thought was the dream life because I was told you're going to have your dream life if you follow a man.
Why did he go to such drastic measures? Something's missing here. So he kicked her out, knowing she would be on the street for no reason? Do men typically do that? No, they don't. That's a trick question. No, they don't.
Yeah. And when that dream fell apart,
something happened and she's not telling us the whole story. I'm telling you that's the case.
In front of me, and I was living out of my car with my cat. And literally had to go to job interviews with literally all of my life in my car. I learned a big old lesson. I want to be able to make my money, not have to depend on anyone. Because if that falls apart, I'm on my ass.
But the issue is that you make men of the future pay for the mistakes of your past. So if you go like making men of the future pay for the mistakes of your past equals no future.
No, because I just choose better men.
The whole question was like how this started was why.
Did she just say I just gotta choose? I'm gonna skip past that and pretend like I need that Kevin Samuels sound effect, the smack one.
You feel like
why we need to make our own money?
What's the what do we expect out of like why do we more money than men and stuff? And we were just saying
very on topic.
When we're single, that's. We just want to.
Well, the common sense reason. If you're gonna be single and live by yourself, you need some damn money.
Yeah,
that's very simple.
Mm-hmm.
But somebody in the comments said, "Why does this man expect sex?" I think that was a very stupid question.
Yeah, that's a very dumb question.
From my relationship, if
you got two hands, get to work, buddy. You're not living.
He's like, I don't give a.
I want to hear her talk. All she does is average.
From what I just heard you say, a man can buy your groceries, pay the rent, pay everything, and
I'm not living with him.
No. Look, it's not your turn to talk. He's not obligated to have sex with you. You're gonna sleep in the same bed with him. He's gonna pay all the rent and buy you groceries, but you won't even have sex with him, or you don't feel like he has the right to have sex with you.
No, I just said like I would not live with a man.
But you said no, you don't have the right to have sex with me. That's what you said whenever I brought
that
up a minute ago.
My personal values and my personal beliefs. I'm not having sex. My goal is to wait until marriage.
Oh, that's understandable, but I'm gonna have a problem with how she's. Let's just let her talk.
Unfortunately, I did not wait. I lost my virginity when I was 24.
Okay, so that's all bullshit.
But
so one guy's gonna wait after another guy never had to.
The right one will.
So you're gonna
No. No. Not with that attitude. Now, can I say you can't be a born again virgin? Absolutely, you can. And you should. If you lived a bad life before you got saved or before you come to Christ, you should absolutely rededicate your life to Christ. But the problem that I have with a lot of modern women is it's not a coming to Christ thing, it's a pride thing. And they will go out of their way to let you know that they weren't a virgin and they were willing to do this for Tyrone. But you better wait. I'm in the leadership position now. That's not right. The man, a godly man, will come to you and he will tell you, we are going to abstain from sex because I'm leader. I plan to lead my family. If he does not, this is what I'm trying to get at. If you serve a true man of God, you won't have to make those commandments to him. You won't have to give him any directives. He will say, I choose to follow God in this relationship. And I'm going to abstain from you. Doesn't matter if you want it or not. You can claim that you were born again virgin and all this stuff. But I'm going to abstain from you. It's nothing wrong with you saying you were born again virgin and you plan to save yourself from sex. But the problem that I got from her is that she's so prideful. And she didn't come at it from the aspect of, I'm shameful about my past life. I should not have done what I did. Instead, if he's the right man, he gonna wait. Well, you can tell by the way she's talking and how she carries herself, and even some of the word choices she had. Is it really about God for you, or do you just put yourself on such a high value that you making one man wait, and the first man you just jumped in the sack with? Because the way I would approach that, if I was a born again virgin, if I was a female, as I would say, I made horrible decisions in my life. And it's not about me trying to make another man wait. It's about me honoring God. And if a man wants to date me, I'm not dating for fun. I'm actually dating to have marriage. I actually want to date a man I'm sexually attracted to. And I actually do want to have sex, but I want to do it in a way that honors God. That's what you say. You don't say, if the right man is around, he'll wait when I didn't make the other man wait because the other man had me hot. I was feeling ooh down there. And now I value myself. And everybody else gotta wait. No, all that says to men is, okay, I just gotta figure out the combination to that lock and then I'm gonna open that door.
Punish the right one.
It's not punish. Hey, you got two hands. Get to work, Austin.
See. This is what I'm talking about. She said, you got two hands. Get to work. So she's encouraged, even if in a joking way. Did that sound like a born again virgin right there? You got two hands. Go ahead and sexually please yourself. Oh, really? That's what a born again virgin would say. That's what somebody who'd rededicated their life would say to a man. Okay, yeah, perfect. It makes perfect sense.
The self-starter, baby.
So I have to jack off because you lost your virginity.
Yeah, well, don't worry. I'm not going to date you, so it's fine.
I don't want to date you. But look,
that's fine.
The thing is,
I'm just sharing my personal values. You have your values with dating and sex, clearly. So do you.
So the man that the right one has a sex drive.
She doesn't strike me as a woman who is valuing. Think about the conversation. Just take this part out. Would you have known she was a Christian woman? Would you have known that she was a born again virgin that values chastity? Would you? Would you have thought that? And that's what I got a lot of problem with a lot of these born again virgin girls is they're not doing it to honor God. They're doing it to try to what's the word? It's not even rededicate. It's to reclaim the value that they know they've lost in a way where they can hold it above your head. It's like, I ain't giving this away because I'm valuable. Some of these girls who say this stuff have kids. You've given away the most valuable thing you have. Songs of Solomon talks about this. That it compares a woman's parts to like a garden, that she only lets certain people in the garden. Once 10, 15 men to pillage the garden, you gonna try to close it back up and say, well, the garden is not up for sale anymore. You're gonna have to pay full price. You understand that sounds crazy to most men because they know you're capping right now. They know you're lying. They know if you really were one of those people that closed the garden up, that your life would show that you're a different type of woman. You don't talk the same. You don't act the same. Your values, the way you even talk about sex is not crude. It is as if it is sacred. It's easy to tell when a woman is really about that life. Or when she's just trying to reclaim her value because she knows she made bad decisions in the past.
But he has to wait because
I have a sex drive too, baby. Trust me.
So if
so
you
you gonna go fuck the first guy again?
No, I'm not having sex. Period.
So what
like
I
don't go out and meet a guy and I choose celibacy right now until I meet my husband.
So he has to be.
If you do that, it's commendable, but I'm telling you, young lady, you're going to have to change how you act. Because I'm telling you, as a Christian man myself and a man of God, that the way you're acting is not as a child of God. You don't strike me as that. Now, I'm not saying for a fact you aren't. But the way you're talking and your action and even how you interact with other men, it doesn't sound as if you really value the things you say you value.
Be celibate as well.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Why not? There's men out there that wait.
You can laugh all you want. You're showing your true colors.
You goddamn right. I want to fuck.
Okay.
You goddamn right. I want to fuck.
Most men do.
That's
no, but
you.
when I go to Brazil, I want to fuck. That's
you.
not a problem. No, that's a lot of men. Any man in this goddamn room that says he doesn't want some pussy is a goddamn lie.
Okay, that's great.
This is absolutely true what he's saying. Even I, as godly as I am, as much as a man of God as I am, I still have lust in my heart. And I'll tell you this, any man who says he doesn't is lying. But the reason why we, as men of God, Christian men, can place our value above most other men when it comes to the sexual marketplace is because the things that women say they want, a godly man actually is. No other man can live up to what a true godly man is. I've never seen my dad step out on my mom. Not even as a grown man recognizing the signs have I ever seen a small smidget. You know why? Because this is the thing that godly men have above any other type of man, whether it be alpha man, a super strong red pill, or a dude who's a player. The thing that we have above them is a true godly man that follows God has self-control. It could be a naked woman ready to have sex, and if I'm a man that's truly controlled by the Holy Spirit can take control of me and that won't even affect me. Not because I'm scared of my wife and I'm scared of divorce and she might take half in court. It's because before her, forget about her. It's about me honoring God. Like Job said, though he slay me, yet will I trust in him. And that's something that people in the world will not understand. People have asked me like, well, you telling me even if Beyonce was laying in your bed, you wouldn't do it? First of all, I asked him, what scenario would I ever be where Beyonce broke into my house and be laying in my bed waiting for me Like, sir, God doesn't give you anything you can't handle. Insert whatever celebrity that men get excited for now, whatever. But here's the thing. God doesn't give you... God is not the one who tempts you. You tempt him when you're led by your own desires. So it's not going to be some scenario that you just can't say no to. That wouldn't be my scenario, but that's just an example that people have said to me. God wouldn't put you in a scenario that you absolutely can't say no to, because it says in his word that he'll give you a way that you can see your way out. Second of all, is that we have something that makes us above the average man. Not in the sense of pride, but we can only give God the glory for this, and it's called the Holy Spirit. That Holy Spirit is a superpower. There's been times where I wanted to act, where I wanted to slap the piss out of somebody. Straight up. Where I wanted to act in a lustful way to a woman that I did not know. But the Holy Spirit caused me to not act on those things. And I've even had friends say, oh my gosh, I don't know how you were able to do it. And I would turn to them and be like, I don't know how either. All I know is the Holy Spirit took control. Other men cannot say that. Andrew Tate can't say that. The people on Fresh and Fit can't say that. Any of the Red Pill or Manosphere can't say that. The lead attorney can't say. None of these people can say, I am controlled by the Holy Spirit. So I answer to him. And that's something that could be commended, that only a Christian... Now, does that mean Christian men will not fail you? We have our moments of weakness too, but I'm telling you, the propensity for a man who really trusts in God, who really stays in the Word of God, who really answers to God and prays to God for direction every day, the propensity for him not to be led by the Spirit is much compared to the average man. You have way more of a chance of him making the morally correct choice than anybody else.
I know I'm in the minority.
I
would love to finish a thought. Would love.
It wasn't your turn. You're very rude.
Okay.
Men love to fuck.
6-1 to no one, I guess. I would love. I've been listening for the longest time.
I'm rude as fuck.
I can tell.
You just drop it all.
You've just been ad-libbing over every single thing that he says. You're like, use your hands. Use your hands. No. Yeah.
When did I say use your hands?
You said use 2 of them.
Oh yeah, you can. we got stuff to do. We can. I'm a self-starter. We're talking about hard work. Let's see.
A self-starter. If you were born again virgin, why would you be talking like that? I'm a self-starter. Okay. Shouldn't be starting much of anything. Aren't you keeping things pure? Why would you be sharing that information? See, this is my problem with her. She's saying that for religious reasons. She does certain things. But religious people don't view sex like that. We don't talk about it in such flagrant ways. It's actually something sacred that we keep to ourselves.
Saying you're gonna punish you said the right man has to wait for the wrong
self-starter.
For you in a secular world.
But if you were truly religious, like, you would have waited, and that's why it sounds like bullshit to men, because they're like, okay, well, where was this religion back when you were fucking Tyrone?
Exactly. Look, she knows she got. Look at her face. If you are a new born again Christian, I can accept that. But if you saying you was a Christian back when you was sexing all these dudes, then you got to explain that to your future husband. You got to explain how the Holy Spirit was in you and allowed you to do a lot of the stuff you did.
I have a question. I love the maturity in this podcast. It's so mature.
Look, I love the maturity. They called you out and you got. Come on. That's one of them situations where you got to be like, yeah, you got me. That's all you can do.
So respectful. Wow.
She's just mad because I made a point.
Look, she know it. Pearly know it. Pearly about to drop the mic.
No, hey, can I speak? If you're gonna tear me down, let me speak.
If you're gonna tear me down, I can't let nobody tear me down.
Go ahead.
Yeah, thanks. I made a mistake, and I'm trying not to get emotional about it. It was a mistake with a man.
Oh, you go cry.
Did you feel pressured into it?
No, that is the worst thing said this whole podcast. No, don't lead her into that. Stop it. Did you feel pressure? She said she made a mistake. It was her decision. Stop trying to act like men is a bad. Did you feel pressured into it? She didn't say that, did she? Let the lady talk. You ain't gotta lead her on to make her feel like a victim. Stop that.
I did.
I did. Of course you did. Of course it's not your fault.
Sorry. Did not expect to get emotional. But I did feel coerced, which is a form of SH.
No! No, you said you made mistakes. Now, see what I said before? Now, if this young lady was taken advantage of sexually, then you know what I believe that should happen to men who do that. They should be ended. But if you're just saying that to shirk responsibility, shame on you. I hope not.
Don't take that. I'm not a victim. I rise above it. I am who I am. It's a testimony. It's a story. For me, I know I'm in the minority as a woman who is choosing.
What do you mean, then? If you take responsibility, then you weren't SA'd. Stop. Don't put that on a man's name who didn't do it. Don't you dare say a man did something, because that man could be watching and he probably like, what? She think I did what? No, I didn't do that. Imagine now you victimized him. And people don't want to look at it this way, but it actually is. When you say a man SA'd you, sexual assault, when you say he did that and he didn't, you're victimizing him. Because a lot of these men don't even know that the girls are accusing them after the fact. And then she want to clean it up by saying, I take responsibility. That shows you that she was not SA'd.
Choosing to refrain from sex. I have made mistakes. I'm not here to judge anybody at all. I disagree, clearly, but I'm not here to judge you. Like, I'm here to listen and learn new viewpoints from you guys and you ladies, too.
Judge who?
No, I'm not saying I'm not here to judge.
At the same time, though, did you have sex once, or was it more than once?
I don't see how that's.
You don't have to.
It's very relevant.
It is relevant. It is relevant.
Okay. Well,
did you fuck up one time or many times?
I don't like that word.
Okay.
You was just a self-starter a second ago.
It's up one time or many times?
It was twice. It was more.
No. No. See what I'm talking about? When you just have somebody question what people say. Because she would have went off on it. If people would have got up and left the table and say, I'm sorry for even bringing that up, she would have took that and said, yes, I was SA'd, and be totally fine with everyone believing that. But why? On God's green earth, why would you say he did that and then you went back and did it with him again? But you're implying, because she didn't come out and just say that. She said it's kind of like, or she said some wording like that. So we know it already brings into question whether it was actual sexual assault or not. But then she says she went back and had sex with him again. This is despicable when people do this. You can ruin someone's life. I don't play around with that because I got sons. And when my sons go out there and they go to college or whatever they choose to do, and some girl says he kind of did that and he got to go to jail, that's not a game. You don't even play like that on a platform like that. Even amongst, you don't play like that anywhere. Because if you were sexually assaulted, you should go to the police. You definitely don't go back for seconds. Ugh, come on, man.
More than once with a man who, at the time, I did feel comfortable with.
You trusted him.
So you got
he
coerced
knew.
twice.
Yeah,
yeah.
You didn't know the situation. I could have had alcohol in my system. I could have.
That you chose to
Yes.
drink.
Oh
But she
my
can
God.
also
Yeah, but
decide to change her mind,
someone has
you know?
alcohol in their system. You give them right to have their way with them. Isn't that
I mean,
our
you chose
word?
to drink and nobody forced you to drink.
Exactly.
Oh, so now we're excusing our work. Oh my God.
Stop saying. You better look. You better go into some grave detail if you're gonna accuse a man of this, because what'll happen is somebody is watching, right, and they know what man you're talking about, and they will go sift through and say, okay, she's this many years old, she says she was drinking, this is her bar that she likes to frequent, oh, she's been there with this dude 6 times, she's been there with this dude 2 times, it must be the dude 6 times, this is his name. Find him, dox him, report him to the police. People on the internet do that. So if you're not going to be specific and explain how this dude R-worded you, then do not make up something that, because I can read people, read their body language, I can read their eye movement, I can read how they talk and their voice inflections and see if they're lying or not. And I am telling you, it's something that's not adding up with this story.
Wow, you chose to drink it.
But if her man decides to stay and be cool with being celibate, is that really her punishing him though?
She's trying to change the subject because he know it's a lie here.
A sucker. Yes, a sucker would do that.
I don't think he's excusing.
Well, but this is it's just like an example. Like that's why women in the church are single, like single and child. I go into any church, it's like a bunch of single childless women that are celibate. And it's like, and
so they want to find that one man who'll be cool with, who'll be okay with it. There's men out there that I feel like will be cool with that. Yeah. But I mean, I don't think that takes away from her deciding she wants to, choose celibacy and go back to
I don't. It's okay to want what you want, but what can you get? And like, who's gonna like a 29 for a born again virgin? It's like, what's gonna?
She probably made that decision at another time.
Yeah, and I'm not.
Stop, ladies. Stop it. Get some help.
A victim from it. I rise above it. I know I'm in the minority for my choices, whether it's a religious choice or not, and I'm fine with that. The worst thing in life is not being single.
I don't think you're the
I'd
minority.
rather be single and unhappy. I mean, well, not race-wise. No, I mean like.
No, I wasn't talking about that. There's a lot of women playing that game.
No, I mean it.
That born again shit.
I mean it. Well, you'd say it before in a conversation. Takes one to know one. I'm a Christian. With all my heart. And it does take one to know one. And I'm telling you, some things are not adding up with what you were doing and how you acting.
Speak for myself. I'm not speaking for other women. I'm not here to make generalizations. But for me, I am refraining from sex. And if I never find a man that does that, oh well. I'm not worried about it, to be honest. There's worse things in life than being lonely.
So if you went to the car dealership,
do you have 2.5 million? Are you on track to have 2.5 million to retire by 65? Because
this is Kevin Samuel's point that he used to make.
I love working though, so I would probably never retire.
Yeah, but what if you get a cancer diagnosis?
Oh, okay.
But that's the thing. Like, but the only point that I'm making is that if you don't get 2 incomes, if you don't,
the point that Pearly is making that I agree with is marriage is beneficial in the long term. People try to act like marriage is a stupid concept nowadays. If I don't get married, so what? Actually, there's a reason why God created the idea of marriage, even with Adam and Eve, because marriage is just a joining of 2 people before God. The reason why God created that union is because we are better together than alone. And I know a lot of men nowadays, they don't want to hear that. And, oh yeah, I'm strong and I can live the rest of my life. We are better together than alone. One day you will get old and you will have trouble getting up the stairs. One day she's going to get old and she's going to have trouble getting out of bed. One day you're going to have trouble pooping on your own. And you're going to wish somebody was there. I'm giving a little bit away here, but there's been times where I have come across people that have died in their home. And they weren't found for weeks at a time. And it's sad. It's super sad because you get the sense of that person should have never been there alone. And they died not only in a place where they were probably screaming out for help and nobody came, but no one was there to spend their last moments with. And it's a very, when you see that, it's just a overwhelming feeling of loneliness that you have for that person, because you like, dang man, I don't want to go like that. Then you say, oh, dying is sad no matter what. Not like you haven't seen it like I've seen it. It's not the same. And then you say, well, both people are going to die alone anyway, because if the father dies and then the mother's left alone, she's going to die alone. No, the ideas and going into somebody's house, right? It's a different feel when they're alone and they live their life completely for themselves versus when they got pictures of their family up and then a grandmother dies and the whole family that she created, her children, her grandchildren, are coming to pay their respects. It's different. I have seen people die and be alone and no one is coming to pay their respect. No one cares. That person will be a college professor and she never married, spent her whole life giving her attention to kids in her classroom, but her kids in her classroom have now all grown up and moved to different states, and you can't even contact who she knows, because she's alone, and she's dead, and she's been dead in her house for 2 weeks. That's sad. That's super sad. Marriage benefits us all.
If you do stay by yourself, a lot of women are going to be homeless.
Luckily, I'm blessed, and I realize not everyone has this, but I do have a family who I'm close with. I'm close to my...
That's cool, but you become a burden later on in life.
Siblings, my mom and my dad.
So then you become everyone else's problem.
Yep.
To them, I would not be a problem.
Yes, you would. They just don't want to tell you because they don't want you to feel bad. I've seen this play out as well, where you got 3 sisters and 2 of them get married, and the other one totally indulges herself in the other 2 sisters' children. So the auntie's always coming over unannounced, always bringing the kids stuff, treating the kids like it's her own, because she didn't do what she was supposed to do in the prime of her life, and she doesn't have a family. So she's just coming over on saying and inviting herself out to eat with them. Just a clear annoyance. Nobody really likes her because she has no husband of her own. She thinks her cats are the most exciting thing ever. I took a picture and made a Facebook page for little mittens. No one cares, but we gotta pretend like we care because now she's emotionally unstable because she's in her late 40s and she's depressed on antidepressants because she's never married and she doesn't have kids, and she thought she was gonna be a feminist professor, but now she's just a adjunct professor. You know what I'm talking about. I be talking that stuff. I'll tell the truth. I know what I'm talking about. These women with their cats are not happy. They drink their little wine and be curled up with they socks and they jogging pants on, and they be watching reruns and pretending they laughing. And the moment an emotional scene come on TV, they be ugly crying because they know they wasted the prime of their life. You only get one. You can't go back in time. And they still be overvaluing themselves.
I would gladly take in my sister who has cancer.
So
gladly.
If you go to a car dealership, right?
That's not what
Lord,
yeah,
somebody has drive it, baby.
Somebody has driven this car for 5,000 miles.
Okay.
But we're pricing it as if it's brand new. How would you feel about that? But this person.
Are we talking about body count? Is that what we're doing?
I got another example.
I'm talking about a car. If you have to pay full price for a car that's been driven, how would you feel about that?
It's already going to be depreciated because it's left alone.
All right, so that's how a man feels about a woman that is saying that she is a newly celibate when she's giving it away to somebody else, whether it's whatever you want to label.
A good man is not going to judge her for
those. Here's the problem. They're partially right about a good man can also become a born-again virgin, right? You can rededicate your life to Christ. I don't want to discourage people from doing that. But what I'm saying is, if you do that, your attitude about doing that will look much differently because it will be based in the fact that you used to and were taken from a totally sinful, self-indulgent lifestyle to which God grasped you out, made you, recreated you if you had begotten saved, or rededicated you if you were saved before, and told you that the way you were living was not edifying and not glorifying to Him. So the attitude at which you come at it is not, the next man go wait. He gonna appreciate me. I'm worth it. No, the attitude is, I made mistakes, but God took me out of that lifestyle. And therefore, it's not because I overvalue myself. It's simply because I want to please Him. I know that there's men out there who will look and say that I gave it away. And guess what? They're right. I should not have given it away. I should rededicate my life to Christ. I should say, you know what? I made a mistake, and I understand that it disqualifies me from men because men going to look as, why am I not giving it to them like I gave it to that other guy? And the only answer I can give is because God has sanctified and separated me. But if you don't give it to men like that, they going to look at it like these men do. They're going to be like, she gave it to every other dude. And now she want to get to me and tell me no. And you have to understand their point of view. They're saying, why would she give it to Tyrone? But does she not respect me? She must not respect me, but she respected him. And women don't want to see things from a man's point of view. That is how men feel respect. We feel respect from sex. So therefore, if a woman doesn't give you sex, but you know for a fact she was giving it up before, you're just going to assume she doesn't respect you. So you have to be able to explain this much better than this young lady is explaining it. And it has to come from a place of humility, not a place of pride.
Kinds of
a good man, women judge men off of their futures. Men judge women off of their past. So it has nothing to do with a good woman. That's why women lie about their past. Because they know their past is a reflection of their future.
Too.
Men do. But you care about our futures.
I'm done talking to you. I don't want to hear what you have to say anymore.
You guys keep
I'm having a conversation with this guy. What are you saying?
Oh, she cut off Pearly like that. I don't like that. I don't like that one bit.
We care about your past is the point, right?
Okay.
So would you ever want to enter a relationship based off of a lie?
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not. Right? So a lot of times women tend to lie about their past because they want to attain the guy that, they're interested in, right? So all everybody else is saying here is her likelihood of finding a man that fits those qualities is extremely low. And if it is somebody that fits those qualities, it's not going to be somebody that she's interested in.
A lot of times, I hate to say it, but he's right. Because if there were more men that really honored God with their life, she would have more of a chance to find a man who would understand that she's rededicating her life to Christ, if that is what she's doing. But since godliness in the West is totally gone downhill and most men are we're way more involved in trying to sexually satisfy ourselves than we are adhering to biblical precepts. It just is what it is. So if you're not living up to the godly standard that God set for you, it is going to be hard to find. Especially if you're rededicating your life, because a virgin initially does want another virgin. So if a man is living his life according to God's word, which is also hard to find, and if you're not seeking it, and if you don't think marriage is important, which she kind of rubs me as I can do or don't, that's really not how you should be looking at it. You should be looking at, okay, if God has marriage for me, what do I need to do to prepare myself to be a good steward of the things He's going to give me? But that's not what I get from these people.
That's a minute percentage. We go off of higher percentages, right? So we speak in generalities, right? But the general relates to the majority percentage, right? So if we're talking 90%, don't say not
I already
all.
lost you. I don't know where the math came into play. I don't know what's going on.
I'm saying if we say 90% of men aren't going to take that, right? We're speaking in
Take
generality.
Take what?
A woman that claims she's celibate
reclaiming
and got taken advantage of twice by the same person.
Not having sex.
Men can't forgive the past, so that's what. Not saying,
Well,
like I just feel like I feel like look, not maybe 10% of men are actually Christian men who are
that's
religious
what I was
men.
saying.
Say that 10% or maybe 2%. Are
like
the religious men who will be okay.
Then her
with,
dating pool is just 2%.
Yeah,
then her dating pool is
that's
smaller.
nobody's business.
Here's the problem. You have to recognize how hard and difficult that is for that man to be found, and that means you got to step your game up. Because if you have a man and he's really, really hard to find, that means other women are looking for him too.
I want to give you an example. Sorry.
Lucky for you, I believe in miracles.
But the issue is you guys keep having...
That's true too. It's not really all based on... Even though she said it in kind of like a snide way. Lucky for you, I believe in miracles. The reality is there's some truth to what she's saying, because if God is the ruler of this world, and even if there is a small percentage of men, he can lead you to your future wife. He can lead your future wife to you. But where people get things wrong is they often depend on God as if it's magical, and they don't do any more work. God is not a genie. He's not just going to give you every desire of your heart. Because if he did, you would wreck the prize anyway. If God gave you a husband on a silver platter, you wouldn't know how to treat him anyway. Because you didn't do the work or prepare yourself for marriage. Because some of these attitudes that I see on the other side of the table from these women, even if a man as godly as myself came into your life, you wouldn't know how to treat him. So it ain't just, I believe in miracles. Even if God brought you a good man, would you even be the good woman that he needs? That's what you should be thinking of. Okay, God, you're going to give me a good man one day. What do I need to prepare myself? Okay, I've been reading the word of God, and these are the things that I see that I lack in that I'm going to be working on. And when I work on these things, Lord, if you give me more things to work on, then I'm going to work on that. And when I'm done working on these things, I know and I believe that you will, if it is your will, that you will bring this man to me. And not only that, but then also, God, put me in the right places. Put me in the right position. What should I be doing every day to find or be in the right vicinity for this man to find me? They don't think like that. They think, well, I believe in miracles. God will bring a man. Well, the reason why God hasn't brought you a man, if you truly believe in God, the reason why God has not brought you a man yet is because you weren't doing what you need to be doing in order for that man to find you. You're not even where you're at to even accept that gift. It's like, God, give me $1 million. And then when I get $1 million, I'll spend it on weed and whores. God ain't gonna give you that $1 million, because why would he give you a gift that you're going to use to dishonor him?
Like shaming language, like you say, if he was a good man, he would be okay with it, and like that's implying.
He's also using shaming language
too. That's implying that all the men that wouldn't put up with that are bad men, and they're actually good guys and good husbands. They just wouldn't put up with that shit because it doesn't seem genuine to them.
That's what I'm saying. It doesn't seem genuine. If the girl is really genuine about becoming a born again virgin, you can sense it. You can be like, she's almost sorry about it because it's like she knows she messed up in her past and God is calling her to do this new way of life. And as I said before, if she gets with the right man, the man will be leading that. But God is leading her in this new direction in life. It's not, I'm worth it.
I'm going to give you an example of what you're saying you're doing. And it's similar to the car thing he stole it from.
So excited.
So whenever I get a brand new car on a loan, right? How soon do I get that car?
You tell me. I'm just listening.
I'm asking you a question. You ever got a car?
This is rhetorical. Keep going. What's your point?
I'm not talking to you like you told.
He likes asking
the disrespect. Just have the conversation.
Questions to put the other person in a weaker spot.
Can you?
I honestly don't know.
Do you get a car? You don't know when you get a car when you sign the paper.
I've gotten a car before, but paperwork's pretty quick, I guess.
Right away? It's
I don't know, 42 hours. You want a number, bro?
Right away.
Like, you want a number, bro? Like, the rudeness. Men, as I said before, men are watching her future husband, who could probably change her life in ways she would never imagine. Just think, he was probably watching this show and he looked at how she was acting and said, "Nah, you know what? She's beautiful." He probably like looked at the thumbnail and was like, "Wow, that girl in the middle, she's so beautiful. Man, she's everything I dreamed of. I just hope she has a good godly attitude. And I heard something about how she's a born-again virgin. I totally accept that because I'm the same way. I got $1 million company and I'm just looking for somebody to share it with." And then he heard her say, "Bro," and he was like, "Nah."
Right away.
Objection. Say what you need to say, dude.
That's how I know you're gonna be single, because you call me a bro.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm not
bro. He's speaking my language.
You're my friend.
What you want is you want to bring that car back and sell it as a used car. You want that.
You don't call another man bro as a woman. That's a manly thing to do.
Same dealership to resell it and make the.
Imagine if I talked to my wife, "Ooh, girl, you know what I was doing yesterday? Ooh, girl." I can't talk to her like that because it's not masculine. She would ask me if I did that. I should just film it one day. If I did that, she would be like, "Why are you acting like that? Ugh, stop!" Like she,
motherfucker that signs on the loan to wait 3 years to get the car.
Why are we comparing women to cars?
I'm over it.
You can compare anything. I don't like when people say this. Why are we comparing women to cars? You can compare anything. People are like, "That's comparing apples to oranges." Apples can be compared to oranges. Apples can be compared to anything. You can compare an apple to a car. You can compare anything. It's the joys of the human language and logic.
Haven't we overused this?
We can use a house.
Do you understand the difference between
I don't like comparing women to objects or men to objects.
Stop that right now. You're making me angry. Don't tell people how they can talk. You can compare women to whatever you want to compare them to. Just like people talk bad about men and compare men to whatever. You can do the same for women. And it's not even derogatory to do that. It's called giving somebody a metaphor. Since when is using a metaphor disrespectful?
There's a difference between a comparison and an analogy.
An analogy is a metaphor.
When you put two things side by side, right? And an analogy is not a comparison.
Why do you even have to break this down?
A comparison means that you're comparing.
Okay, great. You didn't understand it. A second ago, you didn't even understand it.
Okay, so thank you. So you're comparing a woman to an object.
He just said analogy.
Isn't this like
You do realize one of the biggest persons that made analogies was Jesus Christ. He compared people to all types of things. Wheat, tares, sheep. And you call yourself a Christian.
An analogy is not a comparison.
Okay, if you want to get into semantics, that's fine, but y'all know what I'm talking about. No. You know what I mean? I understood where you were going with that.
I know you were pretending you didn't understand. I know that. I debate a lot.
Yeah,
get the likes up, guys. This is
say
fire.
what you need to say. I've heard it all before, to be honest. And hey, going back to my personal story, because everyone's telling me how I feel and my unlikelihood, that's fine. I know who I am as a person. I know who I am as a woman.
I'm glad you did it.
And I just don't want to
She's going to be alone forever.
Participate in that. I've made mistakes in the past. Again, like I said, not here to judge anyone or shame anyone.
Yes, you are, because you've judged them.
But
you judge them, they judge you. Judging is normal. People say, the Bible say not to judge. No, it doesn't. Actually read Matthew chapter 6. Read the whole chapter. It says, judge by the merit you use to judge yourself. One of the most misunderstood verses of the Bible. But she's saying, I'm not coming here to judge. Everybody judges everybody. And you should. You should make the correct judgment. And judge by the same standard you judge yourself. If you say, oh, I don't like fat people, and you're fat, you're a hypocrite. And that is a wrong judgment to make.
But I do believe your value does not come from body count or lack of body count. Your value for me comes...
Actually, no. Your actions have consequences. As a Christian, you should understand this. The wages of sin is death. The gift of God is eternal life. Your actions have consequences. So you can't say, well, people who care about body counts are insecure. No. As a man, we should judge your character. And how do we judge your character? By what you've done in the past. If you slept with 100 dudes, guess what? Whether you are a whore or not, you were acting like a whore when you were doing that. And you need to be judged. And by judge, I'm not talking about somebody throw you in jail. I'm talking about a man should be able to look at you, make an assessment as to if he wants to deal with you or not. He has that right to tell people, you can't judge me for this. Actually, yes, we can and we should, because if a man, just like when Kanye West got with Kim Kardashian, men around the world say, you're going to regret that. You made a dumb judgment there, and look at him now. He regrets it. He regrets the fact that he made that decision to get with a wayward woman. Now look, she messing his life up. All the way up. Can't even see his kids. Saying all types of goofy stuff online. And he is too. But here's the reality, though. He could have avoided the crap that happened with her. He chose to get with a woman who got famous from sleeping with men. She's on her, like 4th or 5th marriage? People act like Kanye was the bad guy in that situation. She is not a saint. She is a perfect example of what type of woman men should stay away from.
It's from a higher purpose.
Ma'am, I'm not trying to sound too sexual, but body count does matter because if the walls separate, the value does go down.
It matters to you as well.
Yeah,
you only have one body for a reason, and that's why you're refraining from sex.
Yeah.
But
so it does matter. So it matters, yes or no?
True. You're judging a woman by the amount of penises that enter her vagina.
Yes, of course. Of course. Is that hard? Am I in a Twilight Zone where that is somehow hard to understand? So you mean to tell me that if I have sex and men inside of me, that somehow means something? Yes. It means you have bad character. It means you can't be trusted.
But what about us judging you the amount of times that you mount a woman?
Y'all don't.
I don't. You don't.
Why does everybody want to fuck Chris Brown? We know he's fucked a lot.
Right.
This is true. And this is a double standard, and who gives a crap? Because women, y'all can stop this. Y'all have the power to stop it. But I can guarantee you right now, whether it be Chris Brown, who else is famous? Who's that white boy who used to sing them songs? Baby, 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 ooh. Whether it be one of them dudes, whether it be even Lil Wayne, Little Ugly So, or one of these superstars, right? They have no problem getting girls. Girls know they're not faithful. They know. They write songs about it. Usher. These girls know these dudes is not faithful. Do you think they care? No. Because what happens is the girls are so infatuated by status. Girls are attracted to different things than guys. Surprise. So, girls see people like Chris Brown. These ain't loyal. You gotta eat the booty like groceries. I always thought that line was funny. Anyways, he made that song, right? And he's telling you, even in the song, he's hinting at the fact that these girls will sleep with him for anything. Girls are sleeping around with him knowing he has no... He's not even going to attempt to be faithful. Not even that same night. So why can a man like that get all these girls? It's simply because the way that our world works, it's harder for a man to get sex. This is just a fact. A woman can go outside and get sex by just going in the neighborhood with a sign that says, I will have sex. If a man did that, not only would the police be called on him, but he would probably get beaten up and taken to jail. Like, he would probably be taken to a mental health facility. Now, all that to say, it is harder for a man to get sex. Much harder. So therefore, when women go out and they get it, it's not something to be commended. Whereas men, we have to actually conquer and be charismatic. We gotta dress nice. We gotta be charismatic. In some instances, we have to be tall. We have to be fit, muscular. In a lot of instances, we gotta not. When I say charismatic, I mean we gotta know how to talk. We gotta smell good. We gotta have money. You have to hit so much criteria as a man to be able to sleep around that women, they don't want to admit this, but the more you sleep around, the more women you have around you, they will look and say, oh, that man got something. You know the most I've been hit on? Once I started wearing this. I've been married for a long time, but I'm telling you right now, it's something about this ring where either they can feel your confidence and the fact that you don't need them, or they just see it and say, some girl likes him enough to lock him down. So therefore, maybe there's something about him I should like too. And it's sad that the world works like that, but that's how it works.
You know, I
he probably has an STD or
not my type.
No, we're not going off probably.
I mean,
do a lot of women want to fuck Chris Brown?
Do really?
I don't know.
They do? He's
really
skinny.
Shut up.
I don't know.
You might not want to, but I bet you he's not lacking no pussy.
I feel like
I don't think they're judging him off of how many women he's.
Also, if you're a virgin on your wedding day, you have an 80% chance of a happy marriage. If you are a virgin on your wedding day, you have an 80% chance of a happy marriage. If you slept with more than 5 people, it drops to 25%. So men are going to care. That
is because God did not mean for us to be promiscuous. The more promiscuous you are, the more you're ruining your future relationships. I hate to say it that way because some people are like, I used to have a promiscuous past and I still want to be happy. Well, guess what? You had your fun and you pay the price. For those who didn't sleep around, they're going to have more beneficial long-term marriages. Partially because they don't have a lot to compare it to. If I had 80 girlfriends, even as a dude, if I had 80 girlfriends, and then I want to settle to one, and she don't do what number 28 done did, I'ma constantly be thinking back, dang man, but 28 used to do this. Girls do the same thing, even more because girls become more emotionally attached. So when their emotions go up and down, and they having a bad day, and husband number 6 is not treating them right, so they feel husband number 2 used to comfort her when she felt like this. Oh, maybe I should just text him. Maybe I should just see what he's doing right now. He used to make me feel so good. And they remember all the good and none of the bad. Is that what you want to compete with, men? Being husband number 6, worried about husband number 2?
Your career's over with.
I feel like it's.
Lucky for you, I'm
all comes down to what our personal standards are. You know, and I can't tell a man what his standards are for if he wants a woman with. Look, like they said, I don't really care about a man's body count. I mean, at the end of the day, like, if we're getting married, you know, it's in the past. Let's let bygones be bygones. But I can't be mad at a man for you know not wanting a woman with the body count over 10 or 5 or.
I think
5.
For us, like definitely one body is good. Like men like that, right? But the point is that you're saying that you gave it up to one person, but this person might have to wait X amount of time.
Can you explain why? Why is it that men are judging a woman based on how many penises enter her vagina?
That is a stupid question. It's as stupid as a kid asking, "Are we there yet?" when you're still on the road. That's how dumb that question is. The fact that you don't understand what men like, and you're well into your 30s. At least you look like you in your 30s. You're well into your 30s, and you have no idea what a man is attracted to or is not attracted to. Says enough about you that you should be disqualified for any future relationships until you figure that out. And I mean that, and I'm not saying that lightly. I'm not joking around and making a joke. I'm saying, if you do not know why body count is important to men and you've lived this long, what you need is to get around godly men, sit down, pick their brain, and learn more about men. You don't know enough to be in a relationship. You really don't. Because if you think this way, and every man, its body count is important. Every man. Look out the window. If it's a man walking down the street, body count's important to him. Turn on your TV. If it's a man on the TV, body count is important to him. Every man thinks this way. And the fact that you are so ignorant of that shows your lack of intelligence when it comes to the opposite sex and the same sex that you claim you want to be in a relationship with. It will behoove you to learn more about the people you want to spend the rest of your life with.
Please tell me
it's
that.
unattractive.
Why?
What it just is. Like,
do you think it just stretches out and it's never gonna shrink back?
No,
it's the fact that we as men hear horror stories all the time of ex-boyfriends sending pictures to current boyfriends about banging their chick. And you say, well, that's insecure that you would even care about that. The fact that we're no longer special to our woman anymore. That we're not the leader anymore. That somebody else had the special intimacy that we so valued. It disgusts us. It don't make us feel more insecure. No, it disgusts us. We find it repulsive. That's just a reality. You don't have to like it. Well, it shouldn't disgust you. Well, tell that to God. Because God is the one who made men more territorial. So your problem is with him.
I'm educated. Like, I know that a woman's vagina can contract.
Okay, then with your educated experience, why are you not attracted to a woman that has, 30 body count?
I feel like
tell him what he should like.
Would you like the experience and the skills that she's bringing to the bed?
No!
I would like...
No, miss! You know nothing. No, you can't tell a man what he should be attracted to. Often this comes from the liberal left. Here we go again. This comes from liberal left because they think everything is a social construct. So if something is created by society, it can be deconstructed by society, correct? That's why they think they can just tell men what they should and shouldn't be attracted to. They think they can tell you, you know what? I got a good woman for you over here. She's right behind that door. Now here's the catch. She has a penis. What do you mean you don't want to date her? You like women, right? We have declared her a woman. Something wrong with that? I smell a little bit of bigotry on you. It doesn't work like that. You can't tell a man what he should and shouldn't be attracted to. We like what we like, and it's too bad that you don't fit it.
Like the experience for me to be the next number.
The only people who have a problem with it are the people who don't fit the criteria.
But commitment, no, because why would 30 other people, let's say the body count is 30, right? 30 is decently high, right?
Yeah, pretty high.
Why, as number 31, would I fully commit to something that probably 26 of those 30 bodies didn't have to commit to?
Because the brain is up here and it's not down here.
No, but I think at the end of the day, it kind of comes down to men feel like women have to do more to have sex. Like, we have to, I feel like in their brains, we have to, open our legs and,
Is that how you feel?
the point is we like exclusivity. Why would we want somebody that everybody else has had, right? And
I feel like we're emotionally attached.
But you get to have that. You get to have the liberty of having all the women that you want, but then you can't have like the woman.
Who wants a guy that you have to teach in bed? Like, come on.
I do.
Here's the thing. Women like the fact, and they can't separate this from sex because it's part of nature. Women like their man to be a conqueror. They like him to be in charge. They like that he gets respect everywhere. Everywhere he goes. It turns women on that if you go somewhere and people respect you, that works in sex as well. That means if your man goes around town and women are saying, oh my gosh, he's so big and strong. The women that you're with is going to be like, whoa, he's respected. Other women love him. It doesn't work the other way around. I want my woman to be exclusive to me. I don't want no one to be like, wow, your wife, I taught her that trick. You like that? No, I don't like that. No, stop. Tell me no more. I don't look, that would disgust me. I want her to be exclusive to me. I'm very territorial. So territorial, in fact, that I don't even share too much about my family because I don't want people to be in my business. They're my family. I don't want people to be in my... It's just the way that men are. First, one of the things that kind of surprised me knowing more about female nature is when I realized that women share far too much information about sex with their friends. Far too much. Men don't do that. You would think because people are locker room talk. When men get married and we have a special woman that we love, nobody knows what we do in the bedroom. We do not get together and be like, yeah, last night I did the elbow move that I usually can't. No, we don't do that. Because I don't want no man knowing what me and my wife do. And I can tell you, every job I've been at has been a masculine type job. And no man, as dirty as he is and as perverted as he might be, will share what he does with his wife. Because it's exclusivity. Never once in a locker room talk. We may talk about girls that we don't care about. We may say, oh, I had this fling last night and this and this and that and this girl and I hit her and then I knocked her down and then I kicked her out. And dudes might talk like that. But they never will talk about their wife, the woman they love. They do not get together and share personal, intimate details to another man that he could potentially fantasize about his wife. Because the exclusivity is important to us.
I'm actually a good learning experience. I'm actually a cougar.
Okay, this is cap.
Ask all my friends. I'm actually a cougar, so I actually like teaching.
You're not a cougar because we haven't labeled you that. You have to be labeled that. Men don't go around. You can't label yourself. Women love doing this. I'm a MILF. I'm a cougar. Men love me. Well, no men have said that. Neither do we declare that you are these things. We don't want you.
What to do because I want them to learn what I like.
Let me finish. And the second reason why is because men historically had to ensure paternity, so they didn't like a girl that slept around because they didn't know if they're passing on resources to a kid that's theirs. And you still see this issue today that men are raising kids that aren't theirs. Like there's a DNA.
That's very noble.
There is a DNA testing center.
If you got a girl that sleeps around all the time, and then she gets pregnant, you're going in the back of your head be like, because you don't know. That's a real fear that men have.
No, it's noble if they know, but a lot of men don't know. Where they said 1 out of 4 came back negative. And so...
Ooh, that's so scary.
So they don't want a hoe because she's less likely to be loyal.
A what now?
A hoe.
A hoe.
Oh, Lord.
I can't imagine feeling like that. Putting in a test for your kid and finding out it's not you. I would rather die.
Like she was saying, there is statistics that show that the more body count you have, you can.
Why is this girl so hot?
See that the divorce rate is higher based off what number she's at. So there's statistics to
Are you having menopause or something?
kind of back it up.
And moving in with a man or a woman before you get married, the odds of you getting married to that person, it goes down dramatically.
That's true. That's about... Oh, yay! She said, yeah, you know what? I was losing hope, and then she brought it through in the end. She actually said something with some intelligence. I'm so proud of her. That's actually true. Moving in with a woman before you get married lowers your chances of getting married. Why buy the cow when you can get the milk for free?
Dramatically.
Yeah, I just learned that one recently, actually. Yeah.
So that's why, again, I do not live with a man. You know, I don't plan on doing that.
I respect that. I just wish you had a better attitude about it. I know I've been harsh on her, but if I was to talk to her in person, I would love to pick her brain as to why she reasons the way she does or gives off the attitude that she gives off, because as a man who's... I'm pretty sure I'm older than her, and I've been a godly teacher and a teacher of the things of the Bible for a long time. I would love to talk to her and be like, yo, I know here the results that you claim you want. This is how you go about doing that.
My opinion on that and the whole divorce rate with 5 or more, listen, this is what I believe. I believe that maybe, you know, because in my case, I have had multiple partners.
Should I say it? Nah.
But I know what I'm looking for, and in a man that I want to marry, because I do want marriage. So if I know what I'm looking for and I like what's up here, it doesn't matter. Like, I might actually, I think maybe I'll stay. Again, this is all hypothetical. I don't know. I have a strong feeling that I would stay with this man for life because I know what I'm looking for. I know what I've already experienced, and I have no desire to go finding something else unless we agree on polyamory.
What? You just talking all types of just verbal diarrhea right now. What are you saying?
Then what?
I'm too.
She said that like that was a real question. Unless we get into polyamory, blah, 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 and then what? What do you... No one knows how to respond to you because you just be saying whatever.
Too selfish for that. But, I mean, in regards to, like, sexual encounters, too, like, you kind of brought up, like, yo, no one wants a virgin in bed. I think that's a great learning experience, like, a great time, honestly, to explore with your partner. And, you know, after you get married, if you're like, oh, man, she's a virgin, she doesn't have any experience, good. I am excited because you have the whole marriage to explore those sexual...
She actually says something else. That's two things that are true. Coming into marriage as a virgin is the best option because you both can explore those things together and you don't have anything previously to taint your experience or bring any baggage to the marriage. That's true. I agree.
I was talking about as a woman, men want virgins, women don't.
Okay.
By and large,
this is true.
I want to address a comment. It says
I don't mind it, personally.
MJ says, a woman that has multiple sex partners is looking for the next sex partner and not a husband. I would like to address that. I'm actually looking for a husband.
Same.
Because you recognize that your value is going down and you've been ran through. That's not good. Men don't want you after you've been used up. They want you in your prime. And people gonna say, oh, that's such a violent way to say it. It's so direct. Would you rather me lie to you?
And I have had multiple.
What's your body count?
You have multiple right now?
What do you mean?
Sex partners.
Uh-oh.
What's your body count?
I don't know if I want to say that because I don't want to be judged.
No.
What's your body
count? You don't want to hear mine. You have multiple sex partners right now?
Yes.
Right.
What? I'm going to tell you something. And it's going to hurt, so be ready, ladies, if you live like this lady. She's never going to have a happy marriage. The end.
Right now.
Do you want to know why? She doesn't know the first thing about what makes a relationship work. So she's been ran through. She admits that. She's had multiple partners in the past, and she's dealing with multiple men now. First of all, since y'all asked me to break this down, the only reason why a woman can have multiple men at the same time is because she doesn't respect any of those men. If she respected them, she would give one all her time, because women are not made to have multiple partners. They simply are not. They get emotionally attached very quickly. So the fact that she's been ran through so many times that she either has lost her emotional attachment abilities, or she just simply has a lack of respect for all the men that she has in her circle, and she's just using them as flesh sex toys. That's the only two ways about it.
Correct. So, okay. I wish I was you, because I can't say that. I gotta wait till I get back to Brazil.
So imagine
What are
this.
you talking about?
Jeez.
I don't even understand what you're saying.
Well,
Why can't you?
No, I said you have multiple sex partners right now, meaning like you're with 3.
Yes, I'm dating. I'm going around and seeing who I match with because I'm looking for a partner for life.
That's a very long way of saying I'm whoring.
Life.
So multiple is at least 4, right?
No, 2.
That's not multiple.
She's spinning plates harder than some guys.
That's a pair.
Why? Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Continue.
So to me, multiple.
Look, here's another thing. Okay, see? Instead of the girl in the middle say, "Oh, continue." She don't like that they're pointing out that she has multiple partners. If you was really a Christian girl, see, now you got me back on it again. If you was really a Christian girl, you would hold her accountable and say that's not godly for you to do. Even if she's not a Christian, you would say, okay, maybe you might not be a Christian, you may not subscribe to the same thing as I am, but I don't think that's a positive thing for you to be doing, to have multiple sex partners at once. That's not really, you know what, maybe I could tell you how to live a better life, because you know what, that's not going to bring you happiness. She didn't say that. She defended her by pretty much telling him, yeah, well, let her continue.
Means more than one.
I would have said multiple means more. I agree with you.
Okay, so the question, can you go back to the question? Can someone expand?
Can I ask you real quick?
Hold on 1 second. So it says a woman that has multiple sex partners is looking for the next sex partner, not a husband. I want to address that because, as she said, we both agree. We are looking for our husband. Now, she's currently not in sexual relations. I am. And so I want to address that and say,
no shame.
Yes,
You should be ashamed of living like this. You absolutely should. As a woman, she's not committed to any one of these men. She's having sex with multiple men at once. They're using her body as a receptacle. And she's acting as if she can somehow say this with an ounce of dignity. You are definitely less of a woman because of this. You have less moral character because of this.
I am looking for a husband. I'm not looking for my next sex partner.
How can you be looking for a husband while having sex with 2 dudes at the same time?
Well, I'll tell you one thing. The better you get at that sex, the quicker you're going to find a husband.
I disagree.
The better you get at that sex, the quicker you'll find a husband.
Because men are not so moved by sex that we ignore character. Well, a good man. Let me take that back. Most of these dudes is weak-minded, so some dude will just be like, oh yeah, she's really good in bed, and she really gets the ball rolling, if you know what I mean. Some dude will be like that, and then marry her. And then that marriage will last about 6 months. When he realizes she has horrible character.
Do you think that my worth is based on my sexual capacity?
Well, I mean, if you knock somebody's socks off, they're going to like it a lot, and they're not going to be able to leave you alone. So I think you should keep practicing.
Hey, let's talk body count. What's y'all's body count?
She still hasn't answered to ours because she literally just said she didn't want to be ridiculed.
Okay, she said 2.
Why is this girl patting her face?
No, she said she's hooking up with 2 right now.
Okay, what's your body count? Let's get to the T.
What's your body count?
I don't even want to tell you.
Over or under 30? I'm just kidding. Not sure, so over.
She folded her arms. Not gonna answer.
Okay, what's yours? I'm curious.
Oh, why do you
silence. Interesting.
Probably around like 3.
3?
Probably around 3.
You mean 3
so that's
0?
not confirmed.
3 0? 3
like
30?
Are you calling me cute?
What does that
You
mean?
think I have a lot?
So if that's cute, then her having 30 should be cute to a man.
Yeah.
Like looping back.
No. And the fact that you don't understand this. How are you a... Do you really think men and women are exactly the same? Do you think our roles in the household are the same too? Read Ephesians 5.
Men and women aren't the same.
No, the walls.
Men and women aren't the same.
No, you guys.
Men and women aren't the same. Like he mentioned before, the difference is many women would be on the boat with Chris Brown, you know, and have his babies by any means. If I'm on the boat with a porn star, I'm getting her out the way and then I'm leaving. I'm not going to wife her.
Where are y'all going on the boat?
It is
anywhere without you.
It's irrelevant. Right. What is your cash app?
I want to know commitment.
What's your cash app?
Can we talk about? Okay, this is a genuine question.
Your cash app. You got 150.
So double standard.
I have a genuine question about the red.
I don't need y'all's money, man. This is a fire show. Y'all just sub for me. Seriously, I don't want nobody's money. I'm just trying to bring content.
This is not me, just Pearly thing.
I know.
People like to donate.
I'll give you my Venmo.
I don't want y'all's money, man. Just support me more.
I have a genuine question based on ignorance because I don't know about the red pill movement that much. Okay, so this is coming from. I want to learn more about what this movement is about. Okay, what is your stance on commitment on a man's perspective? Because
that's actually a good question. Should I stop it here? Yeah, let's stop it here for today. We will start. We at the 1:23-minute mark. What did we learn today, class? What we learned is if modern women are like these women, there's no wonder that marriage rates are going down. If you thought I was going to say more,